Is it true you taught yourself guitar and harmonica?
Well, nobody really teaches himself guitar and harmonica. You know, you just have to, when you don't know anything, you first you get a book or something and you learn. What I remember is learning a couple of chords of some books, and then it's just going out to watch people, to see how they're doing it, how they play those chords, and wherever people are playing, you don't really go so much to hear hear them. You just go to see how they're doing what they do. Try to get up as close as you can and just see what their fingers are doing, and in that early stage, it's just more like a learning thing. And that sometimes can take years, like many years sometimes. Sometimes it takes people many years, sometimes it takes people... To me, I've kind of picked it up rather quickly, but I didn't really play it with that much technique. People really didn't take to me because of that, because I didn't really go out of my way to learn as much technique as some of the people. I knew people that made a complete profession and livelihood out of playing John Lee Hooker chords. Just hammering on the E string, and that was all. And they could play it in such a beautiful way, they looked like a ballet dancer. And then when and everybody had a different style. They had styles and they had techniques that especially in folk music. There was your Southern Mountain banjo, and then flat picking, your flat picking technique, and your finger picking techniques, and just all these different runs, different styles of ballads.
There is a house down in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many poor girls and me. Oh, God, I'm a one.
Folk music was a world that it was very split up when there was a purist side to it. Many people, they didn't want to hear you if you couldn't play a song exactly the way Aunt Molly Jackson played it. They didn't want to hear you play it. So I just kind of blazed my way through all that stuff. I would hear somebody do something, and finally get past a certain point, and it's like, well, what do you want from that? You can learn, it's this, you might want to learn the song or the lyrics, or you might want to see how they're playing, you might want to pick that up, that style they're playing. I don't know, I just stayed up day and night, just barnstorming my way through all that stuff. And then I heard Woody Guthrie one time. Before I got to New York, I heard Woody Guthrie, and then it all came together for me.
I went down by the fishing hole, and I sat down with my fishing pole. Some grabbed my hook, and they got my bait, and they jerked me out in the middle of the lake. Some jumped, I got sunk, baptized on a credit. Fishing down on the muddy bank, I felt a pull and I give a big yank. I hauled out 3 old rubber boots and a Ford radiator and a Chevrolet coupe. Handed in for national defense. Sitting in a boat with a bucket of beer, and I hadn't caught nothing, but I didn't much care. I guess I was pretty well satisfied. I had my little lady right by my side, taking it easy, just a-waiting.
Do you remember the first Woody Guthrie record you heard?
Yeah, I think so. The first Woody Guthrie I heard, the first Woody Guthrie song I heard, I think, was probably called Passions of Plenty. Passions of Plenty, and Pretty Boy Floyd, and another song that he used to write a lot of his songs from existing melodies. Those, and a couple other ones, maybe Grand Coulee Dam, and they really impressed me.
Got to you?
Oh
Any
yeah.
songs?
Oh yeah. Because they were original. They just had a mark of originality on them, and the lyrics did. I just learned all the songs. I just heard them. I learned them all off of records. I learned them all the songs of Woody Guthrie that I could find. Anybody that had a Woody Guthrie record or that knew a Woody Guthrie song. And in St. Paul at the time where I was, there were some people around who not only had his records, but that knew his songs. So I just learned them all from him. Some of the best records that I heard him make were these records that he made on the Stinson label with Cisco Houston and Sonny Terry. And I don't know if Leadbelly was on there or not. I heard Leadbelly too, actually. I learned a bunch of his stuff and learned how to play like that. But one of the biggest thrills that I ever had, actually, was when I reached New York, whenever it was. I got to play with Cisco Houston. No, I didn't. I don't know if I actually got. Yeah, I did get to play with him at a party or something. And but I used to watch him. He used to play at Folk City, nightclub Folk City. He was an amazing-looking guy. I mean, he was like Clark Gable.
Yeah.
He was like he was a movie star.
He reminded me a little of Tennessee Ernie, actually.
Yeah.
Also very unheralded.
Oh, completely. Like one of the great unsung heroes.
Yep.
Of all time, one of the great American figures, and no one you ask people who about him, nobody knows anything about him.
When do you think you started to develop something that was uniquely yours? As you were talking about playing Woody Guthrie. Yeah, you were talking about playing Woody Guthrie and.
Yeah, well, I was doing Woody stuff. Well, New York would do that to you. I was playing all Woody Guthrie stuff. When I came to New York, that's all I played was Woody Guthrie songs. Well, about 6 months after that, I mean, I stopped playing all of these Guthrie songs, but I used to play in a place called Cafe Wah, and it used to open at noon. It opened at noon, and it closed at 6 in the morning, and it was just a non-stop flow of people. Usually they were tourists, who were looking for beatniks in the village and things. And they used to turn over. You'd play. And there used to be maybe 5 groups that played there. I used to play with a guy called Fred Neal, who wrote the song "Everybody's Talking." That song was the Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
And Fred had been. Fred was. I don't know where he's from. I think he was from Florida. Or
Coconut Grove, I think.
Yeah. But he had a songwriting deal with in Nashville, so he used to make that scene from Coconut Grove to Nashville to New York. And he had a strong, powerful voice, and he had almost bass voice, and a powerful sense of rhythm. And he used to play most of the songs that somebody like Josh White would play. And I would just play harmonica with him. Once in a while I'd get to sing a song, which would be, when he was taking a break or something. And so I'd get to sing a song once and play the harmonica the rest of the time. That was him. That was his show, and he'd be on for maybe a half hour. And then a conga drum group would get on called the Los Congueros, and with 20 conga drum players and bongos and steel drums, and they would play for maybe a half hour. And then this girl, I think her name was Judy Rainey. She used to play sweet Southern Mountain Apache, Appalachian ballads with electric guitar and a small amplifier. And then another guy used to sing on there named Hal Waters, who used to sort of be a crooner. He used to sing kind of like Leon Bibb. Remember him? Mm-hmm. He used to sing, and then there'd be a comedian, and he'd go up for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and then an impersonator, and that would be the whole show. That would be like this unit would just go around nonstop. So you'd know where you went on, after whoever it was, and then you could eat there, and you got fed there, which was actually the best thing about the place.
How long a set would you do?
I do, half hour, 40 minutes, and then go back on. The comedian, I think, only did until he was hooted off the stage. If they didn't like you back then, you couldn't play. If they liked you, you played more. If they didn't like you, you didn't play at all. You played 1 or 2 songs, and people would just boo or hiss or something.
Well, this wasn't your own stuff you were singing there. I mean, you
I never
yeah.
started playing my own stuff until much later.